Hey everybody, I see you're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of GIS. This is Corey Bungie Bauer, and we're going to do assignment 4-2 today, the first part anyway. So this is another assignment that involves creating a Geo Database before you start. So if you remember from last time, you can go into ArcCatalog or you can start from right here. We'll put the push pin down so that we lock this in place. And if we go into folder connections, and we're going to go to not that one. We're going to go to this one, and then we can go to My Assignments. And Chapter 4. Alright, and then right-click on Chapter 4. Go to New, File Geo Database. And click on that. Alright, so we'll name this Alright, there we go. Okay, so now what do we do? What's the next step? If you said the next step is to add the layers into the Geo Database, you are correct. We're going to import Pittsburgh tracts and schools layer into the Geo Database. So all you have to do here is right-click, import feature class multiple, and now we're going to go up to /data/data files / we need Pittsburgh tracts, and then if you hold control you can click on schools as well, click add, click OK, and then we're just going to sit here for a minute and wait. We should see down here we go, right here, that it's loading multiple feature class to the Geo Database. Just have to be patient. And there we go. There's confirmation that it worked. So now our files are in our Geo Database. Alright, so now we don't need our catalog open anymore. We can turn off the auto hide, or turn on the auto hide, I guess. Alright, so now what do? We got our Geo Database created. What's the next step? If you said it's to add the layers from the Geo Database, then you are correct. How would we add the layers? Do we want to open a new file, or do we want to go to the Add Data Layer button? Right here, the Add Data. And now we're going to have to go to our Geo Database and look for them. So if you remember, we put them in GIST1, My Assignments, Chapter 4, and 4-2 2014, that's what I put. Alright, and then you can select both of them at once by holding Control and click Add. And here we go. There they are. There are both of the layers. So the fundamental problem here is that we want something that's in one layer to be in the other layer instead. And that is that we want to know how many students are enrolled in schools in each of the tracts. So right now, if we go and we look in the Pittsburgh tracts layer, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. What we want to do is, if you right-click on it, open attribute table, and we can look. Is there anything about student enrollment? We have number of people that are aged 5 to 17, household income, marriage, vacant homes, and nothing about how many students are enrolled in school. On the other hand, if we go look at schools, open attribute table, you can see we got all this information on the school, including how many students are enrolled at each school. So last time we took data from a table and joined it into one of the layers. This time we're going to take data from the school layer, and then based on where it lies in the Pittsburgh tracts layer, we're going to we're going to sum it up and put it in here. So for example, this tract right here has 2 schools, and we want to take the population of both of these schools, add them together, and come up with a total number of students who are enrolled in schools in this tract. Alright, so we want to do a join again, just like last time. Now, I don't have to really explain this very well because it's right in your book, page 149, spatial join tip, it calls it, but it's really just a step-by-step exactly what to do. So it says right-click the Pittsburgh tracts layer. So you always start with the layer that you're bringing stuff into. So wherever you want it to end up is the one that you click on. So we right-click on Pittsburgh tracts, click joins and relates, and click join, it says. So joins and relates, and then click join. You don't need to click joins and relates, so if you hover over it, you can go over here. I don't know why it says click. Alright, join. Now, spatially join the school's point layer to the Pittsburgh tracts layer. So we are in the Pittsburgh tracts layer. Do you want to join to this layer? Join attributes from a table? No, we want to join data from another layer based on spatial location, so where it is in space. And from which layer do we want to import? Well, there's only one other layer, so yes, schools. We don't really have another option here. And then it says click on sum in the dialog box, and that's for the reason I told you before, that if we want to know the total number of kids enrolled in school in this tract, we have to take this school plus this school, and that's our sum. This will sum all of the numerical fields in the school's point layer, including enroll. Okay. So hit OK, and now we go and now we have a third layer here. And it says to name this layer tract school join. So just click on it once, pause for a second, and click on it again. Tract school join, and hit enter, and now we have it named. So we can no longer see the schools, and that's okay because we don't really want to see the schools. What we want to see is we want to see how many students are enrolled in schools, and we want to see how many students live, well, student-aged children live in a certain tract. So in this tract school join, if we right-click on it, go to Open Attribute Table, we should see the enrollment summed up for each tract. So if we go all the way over here, we have sums of every variable here. So sum enroll. So here we go. This tract has 27 kids. This tract has 2,130 kids, etc. And that's the sum of the enrollment of all schools in that tract. So sum enroll, remember that. That's the variable that we want to symbolize here. Okay, so now we want to shade in each tract based on how many kids live in that area. I'm sorry, not live in that area. How many kids attend school in that area? So how would we do that? If you said that we want to double click on this, you're correct. Go into symbology, quantities, graduated colors, sorry, and then what field? We want sum enroll. Okay, and we want to do 5 quantiles. So we got to go into classify, quantiles, and 5. And hit OK. And hit OK again. And there we go. So now we can see the darker neighborhoods have more students enrolled in schools. So the schools are heavily concentrated here and here. Now, we also want to make graduated symbols for how many students live in each area. So in the Pittsburgh tracts layer, we have population data including the age 5 to 17. So remember, age underscore 5 underscore 17, that's the variable we want to look at. So we just do the same thing, double click here, go to symbology, quantiles, but this time we got to go to, or quantities, sorry, graduated symbols, age 5 to 17, and again we want to do 5 quantiles, and hit OK, purple. So you can go ahead, you can make this whatever color that you want. I'm just going to leave it as the default. And this looks a little bit ridiculous with the blue and the purple, but that's okay. Okay, and so now what the assignment asks us to do is compare the size of the symbols with the color of the tract. And so, is the population equitably distributed? So we're gonna come back to that question in the part 2 of this video. I'm gonna stop right there, and I'll see you when we finalize the map.